Hello, I'm Bud McCord. I'm here in Brazil, South America. Welcome to Food for Thought. It is November 29th, 2021. We had wonderful church services here in Brazil this weekend. On our Sunday services, we do a service at 9, at 11, and at 6 p.m. We stay very, very busy, never boring here in Brazil. One of the things I like about Brazil is it's an adventure. Well, we're in John chapter 15. We'll begin reading in verse 9. We're learning how Jesus discipled his first disciples. And these words today are beautiful, and so let's get right into them and not waste any of our time on anything else, but let's listen to Jesus. As the Father loved me, I also have loved you. Abide in my love. I want to stop here. It's really a beautiful picture. I call this the flow of divine love, because remember Jesus said, he who believes in me, out of his innermost being will flow rivers of living water. It's another beautiful metaphor of what God has in store for us. As the Father loved me, so Jesus, the human Jesus, the perfectly God and man Jesus who dwelt among us, he needed to be loved. Like every human being needs to be loved. As the Father loved me, I also have loved you. Now, you abide in my love. You remain, you continue in my love. Then he says, if you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love. So there's the plan. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. Now here's the important thing. The commandments of Jesus are the practical instructions for staying and living and being a part of the project of delivering divine love into the world. The commandments are not a system of control over us, even though Jesus has all authority, and we should submit to his authority, and we should live as an authority, but his authority is based on the quality of the love that he received and that he delivered to us. So the authority that is over us in the commandments of Jesus, he tells us how to deliver love. So let's define love before we go any further. I like to define love like this. Love is giving the best that I have and the best that I am to the person who needs me and my love. Now the idea here is that the love that I can give away is the love that I've already received. And you can see it when he says, as the Father loved me, that's where the love comes from. And then I have loved you. Jesus delivers that love, and he said, the works are not mine, the words are not mine. You can see the flow. The perfect love is divine love. It begins in the Father. It passes through the Son. It comes to us as the moving of the Holy Spirit, and we abide in that love for our own well-being. And when that well-being, the well-meaningful life, the beautiful inclusion in the love that was in the Father and the Son, we then begin to be able to deliver that love. And Jesus gives us the commandments of how to deliver that love. And then we begin to remain in that love. Now, Jesus says, these things have I spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you. Remember that joy is a part of love. Remember in the fruit of the Spirit, it's love, joy, peace, the fruit of the Spirit, that my joy remain in you and that your joy may be full. There is nothing more meaningful to us than what has been spoken to us in love or from love. If you do a little survey of your whole life history, and I did that this morning before I prepared this message, I went back into my past, 65 years back. I'm 70 years old, so I have memories from around 2 years old forward. I didn't have any difficulty remembering the words of love that were spoken to me, that were connected to the actions of love that happened to me as well. I also could have done the same thing with the negative words. They remain. The person who said them may be gone from this world, but the power of the words remain. And so that's what Jesus said. These things I have spoken to you because I'm speaking to you out of pure divine love. I'm talking to you from the flow of love so that your joy would always be available. My joy would remain in you. Jesus wants you to listen to him, because when you listen to him, you're listening to the pure source of love, and it will produce joy. If you go back into an old memory of your childhood, which was very special to you, when you were treated in a way that it communicated to you that you were deeply loved, you were deeply respected. Some people have very little of that in their past, but when you connect to Jesus and you abide in Jesus, then there is a kind of joy that comes from his words, because his words came from the Father, because the words are eternal and they are beyond the power of this world. They've already overcome the world. Now he says, I do that so that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. I like to call this, my commandment is get in the flow of the adventure of loving people with divine love. Get in the flow. In the Beatitudes, it says, blessed, 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 blessed. And that idea, blessed, is get in the flow. This is the way. This is the truth. This is the life. This is how you come to the Father. And you cannot come to the Father unless you get into the flow of my love, and the flow of my love will take you to the Father. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. The greatest manifestation of love, according to Jesus, and that we would be in the flow of love so that we would even be willing to do this, is there might come a point in time where the love that you need to give is absolutely 100% of everything you have and everything you are, because of the divine love that you have received in Jesus Christ. And people will lay their life down if they're in the flow of love. It's so interesting to me that of the 11 disciples of Jesus, who, when you exclude the traitor, Judas Iscariot, and of those 11, 10 of them were martyred. They laid their lives down. They were in the flow of the divine love to the point that they would do for their friends that they loved, the maximum they could was they gave all they had, all they were, that love had made them become and be able to deliver, and they delivered it. He said, you are my friends if you do whatever I command you. That may sound like it's a little harsh, but Jesus says, look, in our friendship, love is the thing that connects us. Love is the thing that excites us. Love that is the thing that motivates us. Love is the thing that has saved us. Love is everything. So if I command you to love, you should just say, I'm in. That's the flow I want to be in. I'm in. It's an invitation. But you need to understand this. There is no more meaningful way to live than the way that Jesus commanded us to live. There is no other way to find deeper meaning than by doing what Jesus said we should do. There's no way to connect to the greatest and purest original reality than to do what Jesus commands. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends. For all things that I heard from my Father, I have made known to you. That is the process. When the flow is happening in our lives, we will make known to other people what the work of the Father is, what the work of the Son is, what the work of the Holy Spirit is. And we will treat people with whom we are interacting in this flow as friends. We will not hide from them the truth. We will incarnate the truth, and we will deliver love. And he goes on and says this, you did not choose me. Love chose you. And I am that love. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you I gave you this opportunity. I appointed you that you should go and bear fruit. What is that fruit? It's the fruit of the Spirit. And that your fruit should remain. Now, here's an interesting thought very quickly. Everything you do in connection to divine love and in participation in the divine love of Jesus and delivering this fruit for the glory of God, it will remain in the world after you're gone. This is true. You can verify this. Think of a person who loved you deeply, a godly person who has loved you deeply, and that person is already gone from this world. And go back and you can remember how they loved you, when they loved you. Now, if you don't have any of those memories, then go back to the cross and remember that Jesus left the world after the cross, but his love remains here. Your love will outlive you here if that love comes from the flow of divine love. That whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you. When you're in the flow of divine love, it's like you're stepping into a small boat and you're going to start going on this river, and it's an adventurous river. It has its twists and turns and ups and downs, and it's got a lot of emotion, and it's also quiet at times. And when you step into that and then you run out of energy, you have to ask, man, I'm tired. Would you row for a while? Well, when you are in the flow, what you ask for is the ability to be patient, the ability to forgive, the ability to turn the other cheek, that's what you ask for. Because that's the only thing that's important. Because you're in the flow of what's important, and the only thing that's important is help me to love the people I need to love. Then your life will be meaningful. These things I command you, Jesus says, that you love one another. There's no way to navigate the flow of love unless you do it the way Jesus did it. And his commands are not to control you. They are to direct you and bless you and make your life meaningful. It's absolutely beautiful. Now remember, he says these things within hours of his crucifixion. Put it back into the context, understand it, and get in the flow. Get in the flow. You will have a meaningful, powerful, impacting life that will outlive you physically here in the world. And there will be people 100 years from now who will be touched by the love that you are delivering right now. God bless you. Have a great day.